Before we dive in, be sure to hit that like button so this message reaches as many Americans as possible. And if you're serious about pushing it even further, subscribe to the channel. It gives the algorithm a nudge in our favor.
The Trump administration is planning to soon receive the first group of white South African refugees it says deserve a safe haven in the U.S. because of alleged racial discrimination in post-apartheid South Africa. Government documents obtained by CBS News are actually showing the initial arrival of the South African refugees could happen as early as next week, according to the documents, which describe the effort as a, quote, stated priority for the Trump administration. Officials have planned a Monday press event at Dulles International Airport in Virginia to welcome the group, the documents show. Although sources familiar with the effort told CBS News the timing of the plan could actually change. So in February, some of you all must remember, President Trump issued an executive order directing officials to use the U.S. refugee program to resettle Afrikaners, an ethnic group in South Africa made up of descendants of European colonists, mostly from the Netherlands. The president claimed that Afrikaners faced government-sponsored race-based discrimination, citing a law that U.S. conservatives like South African-born Elon Musk have said allow racially motivated seizures of land owned by white South Africans. South Africa's government has strongly denied any land confiscations or racially motivated discrimination. The hastily arranged initiative to welcome Afrikaners stands in stark contrast to the Trump administration's move to ban most other refugees from entering the U.S. One of Trump's first actions after returning to the White House was suspending the American Refugee Admissions Program, stranding thousands of approved refugees who had been identified as vulnerable individuals fleeing violence and persecution in Africa, Asia, and other parts of the world. For more news and information that you can use, head over to brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and you guessed it, get your free issue of Brownstone Living magazine. We'll see you around.
So y'all want me to believe Trump is putting America first by allowing white Afrikaners to be refugees, to come here to these United States of America and be provided housing, a cell phone, food, diapers, all that. Meanwhile, we have veterans homeless. We have American taxpayers struggling. And you want me to believe he's not racist either, because God knows he's deporting undocumented taxpayers, okay? He's deporting babies who are 2 years old and can't fend for themselves, so they got to go with the family. They got deported, okay? Mind you, he's deporting people with visas who went through the legal process, but still getting rid of them. But we're going to invite these white Afrikaners here to America, and we're going to give you all the things you need. But he's not racist, and he's putting America first. That's the nation that I'm living in right now. That's the nonsense that you guys continue to speak, and the goalpost constantly moves. Y'all have no foundation of morals, of anything. You don't.
Trump administration is set to fly in tens of thousands of South African white people to the United States as refugees next week. And yet Kilmar Abrego Garcia sits in an El Salvadorian prison for what? For what? Things that you could improve. If you don't remember, back in January 20th, Trump signed an executive order basically stating, we don't want to bring in any more refugees. We're not bringing in any more refugees. Although we know that executive orders don't hold legal weight and it's more than a statement. This is definitely contradicting, isn't it? Well, it's not, because he's a racist. A racist goes against his own actual public statement saying that we can't accept more refugees, but constantly tries to kick out any brown person or any non-white person in this country because of their refugee status, even if they're here legally or not. Now, we know Elon Musk is from South Africa, of course, but he added to this conversation in saying that Africa has not done well at stopping racism and overall violence towards white farmers in Africa. I wonder why. It couldn't be because of the apartheid. Huh? It couldn't be because you made them slaves. This is just another I am outside and I am a racist agenda from Donald Trump, and he proves it in real time. He does not care what he contradicts.
Let me tell you what just happened and why it should stop you in your tracks. The Trump administration has chartered a private plane paid for by the U.S. State Department to fly in white South African residents as refugees. Refugees after suspending refugee admissions for everyone else. Trump signed an executive order saying America lacks the resources to absorb more immigrants. But apparently, if you're white and you're from South Africa, there's room for you. There's a jet, there's a seat. Elon Musk is South African, wealthy, powerful, connected. And now we're quietly flying in his countrymen under refugee status while shutting the door in the face of black and brown asylum seekers. Trump fought with South Africa's president over land reform, and weeks later, white South Africans are being flown here with U.S. tax dollars. This isn't immigration. This is selective rescue, based on power, based on race, based on politics. So ask yourself, if they get private planes, what do you get? This is Legal But Not Safe, a series exposing how law is used to control us while protecting them. Comment if you're connecting the dots. Share this if you're not afraid of the truth, and follow because this series, it doesn't blink.
So the current administration is allowing 8,000 South African refugees, white South African refugees, to come into the country. They are sending private jets to pick these refugees up. Starting Monday, the first batch of refugees will be coming into the United States. My thing is that I thought that they put a pause or a halt to folks putting in application or applications for refugee status in the United States. And also, they are deporting refugees. How is it that you're deporting refugees at the same time, but you're sending private planes on taxpayers' dime to pick up these South African refugees? None of this makes sense at all.
The racists are assembling like the Avengers. And folks can say that they resting, they sitting it out, this not our fight. But these are your resources that these white folks from South Africa are about to take. Resources that you can't even get access to. Mind you, they're calling these people who colonized one area of the world refugees. Was Poland not available? Is France closed? Folks can complain, cry, scream, and throw up about the election all they want, but it's May. What you finna do about it? Because the last thing I'm doing is expecting any other group of folks to put it on the line for us. They can't even get the protest part right. They're monetizing off of movement work with no actual movement.
So South Africa's own government is even coming out today and telling Trump, if you want to take on these refugees, that's on you. But just so you know, none of them have been properly vetted. A lot of them have been involved in protests that are pro-apartheid. And on top of that, these guys are actually claiming that they're being persecuted for being white. I don't know if you know a whole lot about South Africa, where Elon Musk is from, but the apartheid just ended not very long ago. If you don't know what that is, it was mass segregation. South Africa's government also came out and added that it's really hard to be a refugee of persecution when you're amongst the most highest earners and highly educated in the entire region. But in my personal opinion, this kind of gives me remnants of Operation Paperclip, what the US government did after World War II. They got a little over 1,500 German scientists and high-ranking officials from the military, Hitler's military, to come over to the United States so they could learn from them. Now, I'm no mathematician, but 2 + 2 = 4. What Trump's been doing here in the United States as far as deporting individuals, they've all been brown people. And now he's more than willing to bring thousands of white people claiming they've been persecuted by brown people without even fully vetting them. The answer to this simple mathematical equation is Trump wants more white people in the United States. If it ain't white, it ain't right. And that's literally Trump's mindset. You can't prove me otherwise.